Hi everybody, welcome back to another T-Flight Hotas X video, and in this one I'm going to show you how I set up my system for use with IL-2 Sturmovik, Cliffs of Dover, Blitz Edition and the Tobruk DLC as well. Just bear in mind I'm no expert at this, I'm still in the early days, and so undoubtedly as time goes on I will probably be changing some of my bindings, and I'll do fresh videos about that as well. However, before you start the game, what you want to do is you want to use the joystick wizard. So plug in your Hotas system, go into Windows and calibrate it. So in the search bar, put in search for USB controller, find it, go into the settings and calibrate it. Then what you want to do is you want to find the install folder for the game. So it'll be something like C or D, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, IL-2 Sturmovik, Cliffs of Dover, and you're looking for the joystick wizard. See that there? And you go into there, and as best as you can, go through the basic controls and the advanced controls and put in the things that I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm not going to go and do it live, but I'm going to kind of show you what I do. And probably once you've seen what I've got set up, that will make it much easier once you go through the basic controls and advanced controls. And you save that and you exit out of that. And what that will then do is that will then create a profile, and that will be in something like C, users, your username, documents, 1C soft club, IL Sturmovik, Cliffs of Dover. This is where it stores all the stuff, and it'll store a conf user. All right. And what that means is when you're in the game and you fire it up, in fact, if we exit out of here, it's best to see it. If we go back, if we go to the main menu, what you then do is you go into the options, you go into controls, and down here you see it says load, and then you load that what we call it, those key bindings in, and that will then load in all of the things that you wanted to use. However, that's not the end point. You don't have to keep using the joystick wizard. From that point on, you can just go into controls options, whether you're in the main menu or you're in the game at all, and you can look for the settings you want to change, and you can just double click on something, and then you can press the hotkey on your keyboard, or you can press the key on your Hotas, and you can change things there. And so what you tend to find is the joystick wizard does the heavy lifting of doing, the left and the right and the up and the down and the throttle backwards and forwards and the machine gun and stuff like that. And then this is where you fine tune it, basically based on your experiences in the game. So as you play the game, you think, actually, I need to be able to do this. And then you'll either set something up on your joystick or on your Hotas, on your throttle, or there'll be a key on your keyboard that you use. So let's go back. So what do I do? I guess we should probably, if we go into a single player quick mission, if we go to cross country and just click fly, so we'll have a plain view in front of us, and I'll go through what I use and I've set up. Although we don't really want to be running along the ground, do we? All right, we've stopped. Excellent, we've stopped. Good. So let's starting off with our throttle. So with our joystick, sorry. So we have obviously left, right, up and down. Now, because this is a Hotas system, I don't bother with the twisting to do the rudder. I use the paddles on the front of the throttle to do the rudder. So when you get to the rudder section, you use that. You don't use that. And in fact, what you can do is there is a screw on the bottom of this joystick that locks that movement out, and that's something I'm going to be doing soon. Okay, so let's look at buttons. So what do we have? So I have my view on the hat stick. So as I move the hat stick, that changes the view. I have primary machine gun, is that one. That fires the primary machine gun. That button fires the secondary weapon, which is often the cannons. And then that button there, that drops bombs. Okay, that button there drops bombs. And then that button there is lean into the bomb sight. So to zoom in to see like that. It's lean into the machine gun sight like that. That's how I do that. So that's the joystick. And if we come over to the throttle, obviously we have throttle backwards and forwards to control the engine. We have our, let's turn it around a bit so you can actually see. We have the rudder is on those paddles there. And then on the sides, I have brakes toggled on and off, flaps toggled on and off. So you use the toggle, not the up or the down. And then landing gear on or off. So you use the toggle there. And then that button there is bomb bay doors open. So get to your target, hit that bomb bay doors open on the relevant aircraft. Then what I also do to change the view, I have a few buttons as well. So on the front of the throttle, there's these two buttons here. You can just about see them. So if I press that button, so let's press the top button, that goes to the chase camera. And then when I press that button, it goes back to the in the cockpit camera. And when I press that button, it goes to the third person camera. And so when I'm in the third person camera, I can move around like that and have a look round, like so. When you're in the chase camera though, you can't look left and right. You can only go up and down, but that's useful for landing and taking off and sort of lining up targets. And then I can press that button there, and then we're back to the cockpit view. So another thing, so what you can do as well is when you're looking around with the hat button, going left and right like this, if you press the aim into the sight button, that one, that zooms you back to the front. And then you can press it again and you go back to the normal view. So that can be really useful to quickly be looking forward again. And you press it again and that makes you go back a little bit that way. And that's everything. So it's quite simple when you get to that side of it, and everything else is done with quick keys on the keyboard. And obviously sometimes you can use your mouse as well, especially when you're in the map view to bring that up. And so far that seems to be okay. You need to know that things like full throttle war power is on W, and then cancel that is on backspace, I think. And there's a few other things that you want. I think you may well need to assign something like C to put the chocks on and off, so you don't roll forward, or to actually remove them if you want to go somewhere. But apart from that, that's really everything. And what you find is if you think, well, how on earth am I going to remember all this? Because often you're setting these buttons up with a need. Things like these buttons here, I set them up because I needed to set them up like that. You do remember, and flying around you do remember as well. And of course the idea is that maybe you'll have different setups as well for different aircraft. I think that's when we really start getting into the advanced stage of it, where you'll have a Spitfire setup, you'll have a Heinkel 111 bomber setup, and that sort of thing. But those functions there have seen me do okay so far. And so kind of repeat myself. Go through the joystick with the wizard first to get all the basic stuff in, and then use the settings to go in and fine-tune what you actually want to do. Okay, hopefully this has been useful. If it has been, hit like, if you want to see more, press subscribe. And of course, I'll see you again soon.